Hello there, everybody. Welcome here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. So we're here tonight to start a new series. This is the last one that Ben will be doing with me, so I think it'll be a good one. So when I reported this series on Saturday during my next week episode, I stated that I would possibly be doing one album of each for the two bands, but once I clarified with Ben, so what he actually meant was comparing the 6 album runs each, and then we would do another episode next week with 2 different bands. That actually appeals to me a little bit more. It gives me a little more of a topic than trying to break down an individual album. We can actually look at the albums in general and talk about which one did better. So the first episode of this is which of these 2 bands had a better 6 album run. And the bands are Genesis and Gentle Giant, right beside each other on my storage shelf. I like both of these bands a lot, so this will be difficult for me. Genesis has a bit of an advantage because I've known them longer, been listening to them for longer. Gentle Giant has a bit of an advantage because I've been listening to them, even though I'm listening to them less, the music is still a lot more fresh to me. So the 6 albums that he chose to compare, the 6 album run here from Genesis, starts at Nursery Cryme and then goes to Foxtrot, Selling England by the Pound, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Trick of the Tail, and A Trick of the Tail, and Wind and Wuthering. Now, for me, I think of them as a 7 album run. You could have went from the first album right through to, say, Trick of the Tail and left out Wind and the Wuthering, but it doesn't really matter to me. It could have been either way. I would have been fine with it. For Gentle Giant, I am missing one of the albums, so I do apologize for that. I've been trying to buy it and trying to find it for the price I want, but I haven't been able to find it. So the albums will be Acquiring the Taste. That'll be their second studio album. 3 Friends, their third. Octopus, their fourth. The Power and the Glory. Actually, it would have been In a Glass House is number 5. Then The Power and the Glory. And finally, Freehand. So if I was doing this, I probably would have dropped Freehand and went with their debut album as well. But that's just my own personal taste. But either way, these are some absolute killer progressive rock albums. The one album that I don't have from Gentle Giant, In a Glass House, I think eventually when I do get it, will end up at the top of the heap because I think it might be their best album. I've enjoyed it the most, but I just haven't gotten it yet. So anyways, if I'm looking at these albums are all really good. Nursery Cryme, of course, having Music Box, The Return of the Giant Hogweed, 7 Stones, The Fountain of Salmacy, and even some of the lesser tracks like Harold the Barrel and Harlequin and Absent Friends are all decent tracks as well. The second album in the run, Foxtrot, many consider this to be Genesis's best album. It's the favorite of many people that I admire and I like to listen to what they have to say. This one, of course, is bookended by Watchers of the Sky and Supper's Ready. There's very few albums that have that bookends like that. Timetable, pretty good song too. Get 'Em Out by Friday, also pretty good. But Can Utility and the Coastliners is really good. And Horizons really, to me, just kind of opens Supper's Ready, so it's perfect too. The next one up is probably my favorite of the three album run at this point, which is Selling England by the Pound. The art is a little weird, but it's still pretty damn good album. It's got Dancing in the Moonlit Night, I Know What I Like in My Wardrobe. These are both great opening songs. Firth of Fifth, really great. More Fool Me is the one song on here I don't really care much for. The Battle of Epping Forest is just such an awesome song. After the Ordeal and Cinema Show is really good as well. Cinema Show may be my favorite Genesis track altogether. Next up, we have The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. This may be the one outlier in the group here. There are lots of stuff on here that I like. Of course, the title track, love that. In the Cage is great. Carpet Crawlers, of course, these are classic Genesis songs. Here Comes the Supernatural. I can never say this word, so I'm not even going to bother trying, but it's a really strong song too. Colony of Slippery Men, I like. And where is it? I see it. Light Dies Down on Broadway, I like that too. So if you were to, if this wasn't a double album, maybe I would like it a little bit more. It's just a little bit too long, and to me, there's some filler in here. I know I'm going to take some heat for that because many people consider that to be their best album. Next up are the first two by Collins vocaling, A Trick of the Tail, which is my favorite Genesis album. It's been under pressure from Selling England by the Pound, though, for a couple of years now, so it's either one or the other. This has a lot of really good stuff on it. Every single song on here at one point and another has been pretty dominant for me. I started out loving Dance on a Volcano and Squonk, and I moved to Robbery, Assault, and Battery and Trick of the Tail, and then Ripples was in there at some point as well. And then in the recent years, Entangled and Mad Mad Moon have also been up there for me. So this is a fantastic album as well. And this one, underrated, but great. I love the cover. I love the kind of darkness to this album that some of the others don't quite have. The 11th Earl of Mar for many years was my favorite Genesis song. One for the Vine. I just found this the story was kind of captivating to me. Your Own Special Way is okay for what it is. What Gorilla? I never was big on What Gorilla or Los Endos on either of them. Not big instrumental part for them. All in the Mouse's Night's probably my favorite now. Blood on the Rooftops, great track. Unquiet Slumbers of Sleeping and In the Quiet Earth and Afterglow, both pretty strong. So this a nice 6-album run. Hard to say anything really negative about any of those albums. I think they're just all fantastic. And we'll talk a little bit now about the Gentle Giant. So we're going to start, of course, with their second album, Acquiring the Taste. This was the longest running album in my playlist in history. It was almost over a year. It was pretty close to like 48 weeks or maybe 11 months played in my playlist. It's a really strong album from Pantagruel's Naivety right down Plain Truth. I like Black Cat a lot too. Acquiring the Taste itself, the title song, really good. Wreck is probably the song that I got into first on the album. The House, the Street, the Room, really good as well. Edge of Twilight, great. This is a strong album. I still like this a lot. Eventually destined to be a masterpiece as well. Next up is Three Friends. This was my first Genesis album, Gentle Giant album, which went back. I got it back in 83. I sold the vinyl. Recent years, I bought this again. I couldn't penetrate this album for 25, maybe 30 years. Just couldn't really get into it. I didn't really like it, and it set the band back a lot of years. But since I've penetrated it, what I did on this album, this has become much stronger for me. I like this quite a bit more than I used to. It still has a little bit of that negative stig. 40 years will do that for you, right? So School Days, really good. Peel the Paint, excellent. One of their best songs ever, I think. This is a strong album. I like the picture. It's too bad that they couldn't do something more with the cover. They just blonde up his wig a bit, and that's it. Same as their first album. Next up is Octopus. This is a fantastic album. I don't know if it's my favorite right now. It's definitely up there, though. Definitely when I do the ranking, this is going to be right at the top or near the top. Event of Panurge, really good. Reconnoiter, Troubadour. That is an amazing song. Cry for Everyone, great. Knots is good. Boys in the Band is good. Dog's Life is good. Think of Me with Kindness and The River. This is a strong album, and I like this cover better than the other one. You know, I do like the other one too. I like this album so much I got it twice, right? Next up is In a Glass House, which is a great cover. I haven't got that album. I've listened to it maybe 24 times since Ben gave it to me in one of the album challenges. I think it's fantastic. I suspect at some point it will be right near the top, battling it out with Octopus for my favorite Gentle Giant album. But just absolutely killer album. The next two, so this one is currently waiting its turn in my playlist. It's really good. Very strong. I expect nothing but high aspirations for this album. I love the cover. There's some like super strong stuff on here. Cogs is Cogs is a fantastic instrumental vocal album. They have both of those things going in abundance. And this album, I think, will do very well. And the last one on the list, of course, is Freehand. Album cover is kind of strange, but I like it. Just the Same, one of their best songs for sure. On Reflection, really good. Freehand is good. Time to Kill, His Last Voyage, Taliban, and Mobile. This is a strong album. It was one of the first, I think it might have been after Three Friends, it might have been the second album that I had in my playlist. Did very well. Thought it was great. If I was doing this, picking them, I would have, to me, they're both these bands have a 7-album run. I would have put Trespass with Genesis and gone up to, well, maybe I would have left it the way it is. With this one, I probably would have taken this out and put their debut in, which I absolutely adore. I don't like this one quite as much, but it's still really good. All of these albums, I've said, from Gentle Giant are all pretty much destined to be masterpieces in my collection at some point or another. They're just newer to the stack than the Genesis albums. That's all there is to it. So if I had to choose which had the better 6-album run, or maybe 7-album run, I would probably at this time still lean slightly towards Genesis. And that's only because of my familiarity and owning all these albums for many years. Genesis has one album in there, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, which I don't think is as great as some people say it is. I'm probably going to take some heat for that. So that kind of hurts them a bit. Gentle Giant gets hurt a bit because I don't own In a Glass House, which I would love to own. But I think it will come out and be very strong eventually too. So they also have, it's just a time factor that hurts them. And if this was another maybe a couple of years from now when I had all the albums, maybe it would be a different story. But for today, I'm going to pick Genesis. I think their 6-album run is just a little bit better and a lot more familiar. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, this first episode of Who Had the Better 6-Album Run. Next week, Ben will give me another 2 bands and we'll do the same thing again. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please hit the like and subscribe. Which of these 6-album runs do you think is better? You can put your comments in the comment section below. Would you start in the same spot as him and go to the same spot? Maybe you have a couple different spots you could start in. Anyways, and you can also comment about anything I've said as well. So I hope to see you all next Tuesday night for another episode of Who Had the Better 6-Album Run. We'll see you all then. Take care. Have yourself a good evening and good night.